Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all of the things Everton. I'm Gerry. Max is here. David is still moving and is super stressed. So be patient. The man will be back when he gets his Wi-Fi turned on. He'll be a couple weeks, but I've seen the pictures of his new place and it's really nice.
Good setup, isn't it?
It really is.
It really is.
As one would think with David, everything just so.
Just like his beard and his haircut.
See? It's just so contoured. He's got his living room the same way. You know what I mean? And actually, Edward would be here, but he is stuck and stranded away from home because of transportation. See, I'm not even giving fake excuses this time because they have real ones.
Yeah.
Hey. So, just to kind of throw it out there, we have been missing in action since last week. A big part of that is family obligations.
Mm-hmm.
I have a film production company, and we've had gigs. We've been recording, short films for people. So it's basically been a bad scheduling for us in terms of trying to get people free to talk to you and to make the conversation. So let's move on to the City preview. Here's a bunch of nonsense about City. You know what they're doing. Their current form, they're first in the table they're only sitting on 81 points. So, 26-3-1. Recently, they beat Stoke 2-0, lost 1-2 to Basel, but that was in the second leg, and they'd already just dominated them in the first leg. That leg was that was pretty much over after the first one. And they beat Chelsea 1-0. Injuries, Aguero is carrying an injury, and Delph, they're about 50%. If you're Pep, would you play them? I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
As you say, there's no obligation to really, particularly with the league. Pretty much looks in the bag for them, and they've got the big game coming up against Liverpool in the Champions League midweek. So I think we've hit a half decent time to play both Man City and Liverpool within sort of short space of time, because with them playing each other, there's always, as we've talked about, there's always the chance of them fielding weakened sides, and that it by no means that we're going to win at all. So their weakened side, particularly City this season, look like it could still pretty much beat anyone in the league. So it's a little positive for us.
Speaking of that weekend side, Ederson playing keeper, Walker, Otamendi, Company, and then either Zinchenko or Danilo. One of those two. Either way, they're good. Fernandinho, De Bruyne, David Silva, Bernardo Silva, Gabriel Jesus, and Sané. You might see Gundogan come in, but
it's amazing. It's amazing, and you might see him come in. You might not. You might see Sterling as well. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, he played most of one of the Germany's friendlies this past week.
It's unbelievable the quality and depth that they've got. It really is quite something. I don't think I've really seen a team like this in my lifetime. Really, particularly in England. There's just the strength and depth is crazy, and as you say, they had the trouble at left back. I mean, Delph did fit in at left back for a bit, but this Zinchenko looks a really sound young player. So I think all credit to Pep. Yeah,
and they seem to not. Sometimes teams are doing well in Champions League and they transition to the league and they're struggling, or vice versa. But this team has not been dealing with that at all. There's just very little letdown.
No.
So what are we looking at for our team? Just a gay carrying some sort of muscle injury that the manager of Senegal was talking about. I don't think he'll play. And Williams is still suspended, which I know really breaks a lot of your hearts out there, because you were really looking forward to him playing. Anyway, But yeah, and Gylfi Sigurdsson is out with that same problem that he's had recently. So Gay being out presents a dilemma. I know what I would like to do, but what do we think Sam's going to do? What do we think Sam's going to do? And then say what you're going to do. Do you think we're going to keep the same formation because it's been working, or is Sam going to do that thing where he gets scared and bunkers at the back because he's we're at home.
Oh, yeah. Funnily enough, I never thought that. I'm thinking and I'm hoping that he's going to stick with the same winning team with that system. But as you say, this might be one of his expected losses, mightn't it? So
yeah,
it might be all hands on deck and 5 at the back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking because we're at home and we don't have much to lose, go for it. You know what I mean? Because 40 points, we're sitting on 40. Why bunker back now?
Yeah, I know, and it's quite a proud achievement, really. I love this little stat that Pep Guardiola's never beaten us. Because I'm a huge fan of Pep Guardiola personally in my lifetime. I think he's the best manager I've ever seen, probably with the exception of Sir Alex Ferguson. And the man's just an absolute genius. And for him to not have broke us down yet, and for us to have inflicted his heaviest loss since he's been in England, with last season with that 4-0 win. Again,
so Pep Guardiola, Ferguson, and Bob Bradley.
Bob Bradley, yeah.
I knew you accidentally forgot him.
The joys he had at Swansea.
He's actually really good for the U.S. Just saying, he's doing really well at LAFC. But yeah, that was a joke for you people out there. I like him, but not that much. All right. Anyway, now that I've interrupted Max and totally thrown his game, keep going, buddy.
No, I've just got to. Hopefully, Everton have just got this bogey team kind of omen over Manchester City, and I'd love to see us pull one out the bag, because I feel like, it's been a really underwhelming and hard season. If we pull off a win against these, then I think it'll be a win for the ages. Really, I think any team that beats this Manchester City team it's really going to live long in their memory.
So what's yours? What's Sam's lineup, and then what's yours?
I think it's the same system, really. Pickford, and hopefully, I mean, I'm slightly cautious over Baines and Coleman, because because of all the impact that they've had since they've come back. I'm just really cautious. I don't want any of them to pick up knocks or regress in their physical state, really. So Baines and Coleman are full back, touch wood, and I think I like Jagielka and Keane together as centre back. I really feel like it looks like Keane's growing in his confidence, particularly next to Jags. Holding midfield, I want to see Tom Davies and Wayne Rooney, because I feel like, and I think David was one of the first that brought it up, the fact that we don't play the holding midfield, we let the two have kind of got their own system between them, and they're not they take the turns and things like that. I think it works really well for us. But again, are we going to be able to break? Are we going to be able to have these opportunities against them? I don't know. I think it's where the likes of Walcott's going to come in really useful, and Balassi out wide with the pace, because I feel like we're going to have to counter these. I really can't see us getting a slow build-up goal against them, because they're so quick to close the bottle down and win it and go on the attack. Yeah, and I feel like Gylfi Sigurdsson's going to be a huge miss in this game, because we know the amount of the defensive covering that he does. I think, and I'm going to say this, it's going out on a bit of a whim, because of his goal midweek for England. I want to see Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Cenk Tosun up front. I want to see it as a little combination. I want to see two up front.
So is that what you think he's going to do, or you?
No, as I say, I think he's going to play the same.
The same thing, yeah.
The same thing.
So the real question here is going to be, if we started Davies, Gay, and Rooney in the center last game, Davies, Rooney, are you saying that Davies and Rooney will pull back, and or who do you think is going to fill that Gay role?
I feel like it, because I know I've complimented how Gay and, I mean, Davies and Rooney coexist. I mean, they both let like one goes, one stays, etc. It seems like a really good system, but I do feel like they're going to be given a lot of defensive responsibility, and particularly if I want to see Calvert-Lewin play because. I mean, particularly after it, I've seen his comments. He come out and said that he wish he was in the England, the senior setup with England, and I feel sorry for Calvert-Lewin. I really do feel like he's been mismanaged this season. I mean, he was given an awful lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
He's still very young. I mean, he was leading the line when Sam Allardyce came in, and I just feel like that was a lot of responsibility for a young player to take on.
It was, but I will say I think that it's been good for him.
Yeah, I think it has been good, but as I say, I feel like he's been mismanaging that. It would have done him the world of good to be up there with a partner or just someone that he could.
I would agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I think that would have given him some support.
Yeah, exactly, and I think it would have probably enhanced his development as well.
Yeah, I mean, so I would prefer. See, I mean, what I think he's going to do, Pickford, Coleman, Jags, Keane, Baines, Davies, Rooney. I think he'll start Schneiderlin instead of Gay. I don't want that. I think he will. Balassi, Walcott, Tosin. I would rather he do a like-for-like swap with Gay and put in Baningame instead. Because I think he hasn't really done anything wrong to be out on his ass the way he has been. You know, I think he's played well when he's been in.
Yeah.
And I think he's the closest thing to having a like-for-like situation with Gay if you want to keep the same system.
Yeah.
But Sam will never do it if he's got a player with all the experience of Schneiderlin.
I know,
and I don't think he'll put Clausen in instead either.
No, I think my same point gets made whenever when people want the likes of Vlasic, Beningame, all these younger players, they want them to come in. I just say, when Sam Allardyce came in, he was told to keep us up effectively. Yeah. So I think that's always going to be the thing that he'll harp back to, and say, we needed to be secure, we needed to choose experience over youth. Again, we've hit that 40 mark now, 40-point mark. So there's a lot of pressure that's been lifted, but again, his attitude it seemed to be very stubborn in that sense. So, but I really do think it probably would be Schneiderlin.
I'll be curious if he changes a little bit of his philosophy when it comes to that, because we already have 40. Yeah. Let's be a little flexible on it. But you know how he is, flexibility. Ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. So, yeah. What's the result going to be?
2-0 City.
I'm saying 3-1 City. We're negative Nigels over here.
Yeah.
It's only, honestly, I mean, playing almost anybody else at home right now, I would probably pick a win. It's only because I think City is that good of a team, and I think the fact that we have been a little bit of a bogey team for Pep. I think he'll be kind of pissed about that and try to. He's one of those guys who likes to lay out his accomplishments, line them up, and tick off the boxes. Yeah, and I feel like just getting us beaten is something he's like, I want to go ahead and do that.
That mentality just seems to have eluded us this season. I feel, I don't think we've gone into any big game particularly confident like we used to. So
yeah. So, Max and I picking a loss for Saturday. We don't want that to happen.
Of course.
If we did the Edward head in our heart thing, be very different results, I think. But yeah, so that's how we see the City game. I just want to see us go there and compete and not bunker back. I just want to see us, play a little attacking football. Just try.
Yeah. Or even if we do what we did at the Etihad and just don't concede towards the end, because that game at the Etihad, we're very close to getting a result in a win.
Very true. All right, so that's been our City preview. If you like our videos, please subscribe. We have just surpassed the 600 mark, which is awesome. But that means now we're trying to climb towards 700. That end of season goal of 1,000 is still looms large. Just saying.
Always climbing. Always want more.
Yeah, we just this past week we didn't even get to have any videos and still got some subscribers. It was kind of great. Also, please check out Max's stuff on the Toffee Blues website. There's a lot of analysis by him on there. So yeah, support the guy. All right, and I believe that's all. Let's go do more stuff, Max. Bye.